We've got the Mercedes-Benz AMG 63 G-Class.
G-Wagon for gas. Let's hear this
We're
thing
taking
roar,
the corner
Andrea.
here. You ready?
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Loves that gas, Andrea.
What a sound. What a sound.
It's a pretty special vehicle. All right, Landria, what's under the hood of this bad boy?
A handcrafted 4-liter twin-turbo V8 with a 9-speed automatic transmission. 577 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque.
This fridge on wheels will make a run to 60 miles an hour in 4.5 seconds. And of course it comes standard with all-wheel drive. So part of the shtick and the fun when you get an AMG is you see the plate on the engine signed by the person that made this car, or actually made the engine, and a Volterbach in Germany. That's a pretty nice little touch.
I think it is too. That's what makes it so special. That's why you want an AMG.
What makes it special, Andrea, are the features. What comes with this? What are the key standard features?
The AMG G63 comes standard with dual 12.3-inch screens, wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a 360 camera, Napa leather upholstery, power front seats with memory, heated front and rear seats, ventilated front seats, 3-zone climate control, a sunroof, 64-color LED ambient lighting, and the Burmester sound system.
So Sport Plus, we heard that already. It gives a nice little growl when you go from Sport to Sport Plus. It's quieter, then Sport Plus is louder. What else can we put it in though?
Well, you got to put it in S for subscribe. And if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure you like and subscribe, but also follow on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to see what's up behind the scenes. And for me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button. So if you don't follow the auto news that closely, you might not be aware that last year, AMG engines were not being produced. That's the big V8 that's under the hood of this thing because of supply shortages. Now, obviously, they're back making them, and we're quite happy to test one.
This is such a beast.
Whoa.
Can you ever not get enough of that? It's such a wonderful sound. Was Zach holding on for dear life there?
Yes, I'm just looking for the credit card to pay for all of that.
You know what? It's a pretty special vehicle. I think we can all agree on that. I think that torque number is just so huge, and you'll never feel a lack of acceleration at any speed. In fact, it reaches its torque peak at 1,300 RPM and holds it to 4,000 RPM.
The engine's amazing. Let's just call it what it is. I mean, if you want to drive something special, AMG is a good place to start. The interesting thing is this vehicle has a kind of an interesting history. So it was developed for the Shah of Iran in the late 70s. He wanted a vehicle that he could use in Iran to drive. And then Mercedes said, okay, well, you want to spend all the money to develop it. They built it, and then they put it into series production and was used really for military use for many, many decades. And then it became popular with the money set, Andrea.
It's big in California.
Yeah, it's big everywhere that you have a lot of money. And I think that the roots of this, even though it's capable to go off-road and do all that kind of stuff, really are at the Four Seasons Hotel.
Yeah, I would agree with that. People are not taking this off-road. We actually, saw a woman getting out of one yesterday. I mean, it is so clean. It hasn't seen any dirt. No way.
So what Mercedes has done to make this arguably the most capable off-road vehicle is to add front, center, and rear locking differentials, a place where they tested in Austria called the Mountain, which is called Schockel. And when you go up and over using all of these different locking differentials, this thing is capable. Yeah,
I mean, it comes with a 2-speed transfer case, 4-wheel drive. It's got the locking differentials for a good balance of torque and traction when you need it. It also comes with AMG high performance exhaust system, high performance braking system, and adaptive damping suspension, which really helps make the ride a little bit more comfortable for sure.
Well, it does look like a bit of a fridge on wheels, Andrea. But
Yeah.
a matte black fridge.
A rocket fridge on wheels. I think it's timeless, it's classic, it's iconic, it's all of those things. Mercedes-Benz has kept this classic look, which is what people want. I mean, if you want something different that has a lot of power, just get the GLE. I mean, you certainly don't need something like this, but there are people who are drawn to it. It doesn't even matter what it costs in the end.
So it's interesting. This is an iconic design. And if you look at the old one and the new one, you would think, well, it's really just an evolution. Interestingly, one of the only things they kept from the old model to the new model were the door handles.
Yeah.
And apparently the rear spare tire mount is carried over. Everything else is all new. You wouldn't know it.
No.
And one of the things is they kept that because the sound when you open and close the doors has this mechanical clunk that you just don't replicate on any other car.
And you know what? It just is so satisfying. Like, what a satisfying sound. I really like it. I mean, I would like keyless entry, but you don't get it with this because you get the big clunk.
It's coming up actually in Questions, Coffee, and Cars. We're going to talk about the doors and this infotainment system that really isn't up to date.
No. So this comes standard with 21-inch wheels, available 22-inch wheels. You get the AMG grille. You've got the classic round headlights with LED technology, steel running boards. It has heat and noise insulating glass and the option of chrome, gloss, or matte black exterior accents and an available black roof. We do have a few exterior packages on this model, the AMG Night package and the Stealth package. So that gives us the black exterior accents, the black grille, and then all of the black badging, which I think looks pretty hot.
The one I liked was the one we had 2 years ago, Andrea. It was the green with the bright wheels.
Yeah.
I just think bright wheels, in my opinion, look much better.
I think that had the chrome grille as well.
Yeah, it was
on
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
The inside of this thing is kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Compared to the vehicle it replaced, the technology in that was ancient.
Yeah.
But now we have the older MBUX system. We're going to talk more about that again in Questions, Coffee, and Cars. But overall, this isn't a big vehicle, even though it looks big.
Yeah, it was boxy, so you get that space in here because it is a boxy design, lots of headroom. I find it really quite comfortable in here. I love the high seating position that you also find in Land Rover models. I get why it's so popular. Plenty of storage. I don't mind the center console layout. It's pretty good, pretty practical.
Yeah, and there's a nice combination of switches as well. It is a bit of a step up to get into this vehicle for little kids or maybe elderly people. I'm not that old. Getting into the back seat is a bit of a chore, but once you're in, the door opening is quite narrow, but it's not bad once you're in. How does it stack up?
Comparing the G-Wagon to other competitors like the Land Rover Defender, the Mercedes-Benz offers 38.7 inches of front row legroom, which is a little less than the Land Rover. Second row legroom at 39.5 inches is about an inch more than the Defender.
At the back to access the cargo area, it's a heavy swing out tailgate with the spare tire mounted on the back. The good news is it opens to the curb side and not the road side like Land Rover products, but it really isn't that big. And when you put the second row seats down, the floor isn't flat. You've got a big bump there.
Cargo space behind the second row for the G-Class is a little bit bigger at 38.1 cubic feet, but it's the Defender that offers more overall cargo capacity, with the G-Wagon coming in at 68.6 cubic feet. The Land Rover has 10 cubic feet more space.
All right, the price is coming up. Shocker.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
All the reviews say this is a super impractical show of wealth. No non-wealthy person should own this car. It drives like a bus.
No non-wealthy person can afford this car.
No, absolutely not. And the
So
thing
that
is,
eliminates a lot of people from buying it.
yes, it does. And here's the thing. People who are doing reviews on this and say that it drives like a bus, it's a body-on-frame SUV. I mean, my expectations are going to be different if I get into the Land Rover Defender, which is a unibody design. This is like a little bit top heavy, and when you take corners, I don't know, it's what I'm used to in this.
It's so much better. You have no idea how much better this latest version is compared to the last one. I remember we did a trip up to Worcester and we did off-roading, and driving there on the road, I was just like, who buys these? As soon as you get off-road and you went into the mountains, you're like, oh, it all makes sense. With this latest version, they've made it way better for on-road, which is where 99.7632% will drive it.
Yeah, it's actually quite comfortable as a daily driver now. I get the appeal of it, but if you think that it's going to have an awesome turning radius and it's going to take those corners with ease, it's not. It's a body-on-frame SUV, and if you take it off-road, you are going to love it.
And it's the major flex.
Major flex. I have to say, this is no lie. I didn't even tell Zach this.
Oh, I haven't heard this. So wait, let me just get ready. Okay, and anytime.
So I'm pulling up to a red light and I'm slowing down as I'm approaching.
Some dude said something to you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm in the middle lane and there is somebody on the left and on the right. And as I'm approaching, both of them put their hands out their window and were like this.
Really?
Thumbs up.
Was it just because it was Drea from the Motormouth YouTube channel?
I don't know, but I'm thinking that this is it. Maybe they did recognize me and it's a combination of both, but I doubt it. I think that they were so focused on this G-Wagon.
Oh, let me guess.
People love it.
And they were dudes.
They were guys, yeah. Does it still have that status symbol appeal, or how is it kind of watered down now? Well, I think just by my last comment, no. It hasn't watered down.
This is one of these vehicles, if you can afford it and you like it, get it while you can. Yeah. This will be a dinosaur in short order as the EV revolution takes hold. Big V8, fire-breathing AMG, body-on-frame SUV. Don't think this will be around for long.
And what about the tailpipe sticking out of the side of the vehicle? And then the sound. I mean, this is unbelievable, isn't it? Is it equipped with the latest MBUX system? Hey, Mercedes yet? Hey, Mercedes.
What can I help you with?
It's not. This has got the old command system. I mean, this is so old. I'm telling you, it's laggy and it's slow. We have got the AMG SL63 this week with all of the updated Mercedes-Benz technology in it. So I get in this, and I wait for certain functions, and it's slow and it's laggy, and I get in that.
Boom. The thing is that it's amazing that they did update this just 2 years ago, but they went to this instead of going to the latest MBUX system, which makes no sense to me. And then the other thing is, like, I know the door clicky thing is like, everybody loves that, the way you can slam the door, so it sounds great. But it would also be nice if it had a proximity sensor where you come up to the car and it unlocked with that beautiful sound, but I just don't have to get the key fob out every time. It's not the 90s anymore. I
know, well, that's it. When I'm so used to keeping the key fob in my purse, I walk up to the vehicle, I open it, and I go. Now I got to get it out, and it's just those little things, but obviously people don't care. They sell these all the time. This is not a touchscreen. It is controlled at the center console with the dial. It doesn't have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And did I say already that it's slow?
And the other thing is, it's got a fully manual swing out tailgate, or I guess tailgate. No power lift gate. So yeah, you gotta really want one of these to really want one of these.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the person asking the question, when I said no, it's not updated, he goes, you know what though, I still want one.
Exactly. And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
This is my dream car. Do you think this is worth the huge price tag? Also, what do you know about the upcoming EQG, if anything?
Is it worth the money?
Sound is.
Depends whose money it is. If it's your money, oh yeah. If it's my money, no. It's not worth the money.
I think that, no, is a vehicle worth this kind of money? I mean, my goodness, it's expensive. people are buying this for different reasons.
Yeah, status.
They're not worrying about the price. They can afford it. It's not their only vehicle. They probably have many vehicles, but they probably just want to be seen in it.
All right, so here's the thing. Mercedes-Benz has brought down the entry prices to their cars over the years. They introduced vehicles they never had before. They used to have the A-Class, the GLA, and so on. So the Mercedes-Benz three-pointed star was available to many, many more people.
Yeah.
So you need to have S-Classes and this kind of vehicle to really cement the fact that this is a high prestige vehicle. Those entry-level vehicles aren't doing it. It's vehicles like this, the major status vehicles, that will get people excited about the brand.
When I see one of these on the road, first thing I say is, wow, I know how much these cost. This person has got a lot of money. Now, there is supposed to be an EV version coming of this. Rumors are 2025, but Mercedes-Benz has not confirmed that, and they've just done some teasers on it. So it will be interesting to see what they do. Are they going to pipe some sound into it, or is it going to sound like a typical EV? What we do know is it's going to be fast.
So we're going to do the official price and the official fuel economy. Both are kind of shocking.
Let's start with pricing. It's a big number, 242,000 Canadian, 179,000 in the US.
Here's the fuel economy, 19.5 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 15.5 on the highway. That's just 13 miles per gallon in the city, 16 miles per gallon on the highway. It can tow though 7,000 pounds, and the warranty is 4 years, 80,000 kilometers or 50,000 miles. So you want a mega high horsepower SUV that maybe is capable as well. What else can you buy?
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the most powerful Jeep Wrangler, the Rubicon 392, with a 6.4-liter Hemi V8, 470 horsepower, and a starting price just over $110,000.
The Land Rover Defender with a supercharged 5-liter V8, 518 horsepower, and a starting price of $133,000.
The Range Rover Sport SV with a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 and a mild hybrid system, 626 horsepower, and a starting price just over $236,000.
Here's an oddball one, but the engine makes sense. The Dodge Durango Hellcat with a 6.2-liter supercharged Hemi V8. More power than all of these, 710 horsepower, and a starting price of $116,000.
So there are 4 powerful and capable SUVs for you to consider.
Lightning round, 2 things we like to see improved.
I love the way this looks.
I love how they've been able to make this actually pretty good to drive on road.
What I'd like to see is some new tech in here.
I'm sure they could still have these door latches with a keyless system.
A timeless classic. Missing a few features, but for those who buy this, they won't care.
If you have to ask the price, you can't afford it.
Oh.